Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because, wow, we have an incredibly dense, fascinating expert briefing to unpack. We are going to completely bypass the generic surface-level advice you normally hear. Instead, we're putting on our analytical hats to decode the hidden underlying cause and effect relationships that really govern our professional and financial lives. Based on a comprehensive, anonymous expert report, we're going to break down the mechanics of career mobility, the strict math behind asset solvency, and exactly how incoming macro-level regulatory environments dictate our strategic planning. If you want to finally understand the invisible systems that either build long-term wealth or, conversely, trigger systemic failure, you are in exactly the right place. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today's briefing. We'll start by optimizing career market alignment, then examine mitigating real estate risks. From there, we navigate some massive tax policy shifts arriving in 2026, followed by a critical look at defeating data security threats. Finally, we'll synthesize the whole shebang into future-proofing your strategic plans. So, Section 1, Optimizing Career Market Alignment. To really kick off our analysis into the human capital market, we need to completely deconstruct a wildly pervasive myth. Year after year, thousands of highly educated individuals absolutely crash and burn when entering new, competitive international job markets. The assumption? People usually think they just chose the wrong country or that the economy was simply bad. But you know what? The data reveals a completely different, highly analytical reality. The true root cause of failure is a lack of market alignment. Failure in a new job market actually isn't about the geography. It's a mechanical failure of supply and demand. Think about it. When a major tech or manufacturing firm posts a position, they get thousands of applications in a matter of hours. And almost all of those applicants possess the exact same generic degrees and surface-level skills. What actually separates the 1% who secure offers from the 99% who are rejected? It's the precise, calculated matching of highly specific niche skills to the exact economic and technical demands of that local market. Simply put, if you don't have alignment, your degree is just a commodity. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference between what most people do and what actually works. The old, flawed strategy of blasting hundreds of generic resumes out into the void, it's entirely reactive. It relies on just hoping probability eventually works out in your favor, which, spoiler alert, it almost never does. The optimal strategy is hyper-targeted networking. This means doing deep, analytical research before a single application is ever sent. It's about identifying a specific company's milestones, say, a new manufacturing plant or a complex sustainability goal, and positioning your exact niche skills as the literal solution to their immediate operational bottleneck. To prove how effective this is, the expert data highlights a genuinely staggering metric: 200. By employing a hyper-targeted application strategy, meaning you are customizing every single resume and leveraging deep market research, individuals are securing multiple premium job offers with fewer than 200 total applications over an entire season. It completely flips the traditional script. You aren't playing a numbers game anymore. You're executing a precision strike based on hard market intelligence. So, once you've successfully optimized your human capital and secured that premium income, a really vital question naturally emerges. How do these micro-level career strategies actually translate to managing physical asset risk? That brings us to Section 2, Mitigating Real Estate Risks. We need to fundamentally alter how we view affordability. Seriously, the most dangerous assumption anyone can make is believing that a bank's loan approval equals true systemic affordability. It doesn't. A bank calculates risk based on a static snapshot of your current income. They do not calculate the dynamic, real-world risks inherent to your specific employment status or market volatility. Let's analyze the causal mechanism here. The traditional old-school standard dictates that housing costs can safely consume 30% of your income. However, for high-risk workers, particularly international workers dependent on specific visas, this rule is systemically flawed. Upon sudden job loss, these workers often face super strict 60-day regulatory timelines to either relocate or secure new employment. And in a tight job market, 60 days is practically a blink. Therefore, the traditional 30% rule is just way too dangerous. The expert model mandates a strict 20 to 25% income cap for housing. This deliberately creates the financial breathing room you need to navigate sudden, enforced career transitions without going into a total panic. Now, to make that 25% cap actually work, there is an absolute non-negotiable prerequisite: the 1-year runway. Before purchasing any asset, you must mathematically guarantee your solvency. Let's say your total monthly housing costs, and I mean everything, mortgage, taxes, insurance, maintenance, are $2,500. A strict $30,000 liquid runway is mandatory, and it needs to sit in a high-yield savings account. This isn't just about paying the mortgage, it's about preventing forced asset liquidation. If you don't have this runway, sudden unemployment will force you to make desperate, suboptimal career choices simply to feed the asset. And why are we so obsessed with avoiding a forced sale? Well, because of this number right here, 10%. Selling a home prematurely, which is typically defined as within a 3 to 5 year window of purchasing it, reliably destroys 10% of the asset's total value. That capital is just completely lost through hidden closing costs, realtor fees, and short-term market fluctuations. If you're forced to sell because you lacked that 1-year runway, you aren't just losing a house, you're suffering a massive, irreversible destruction of wealth. Okay, so we've optimized your income generation and we've stress-tested your physical assets, but neither of these things exists in a vacuum. We really have to zoom out and ask, what macro-regulatory systems govern the income and assets we've just optimized? Section 3. Navigating tax policy shifts. We are staring down an incoming 2026 national tax and regulatory environment where recent sweeping legislative acts are fundamentally altering taxable income formulas. We're looking at a highly complex window from 2026 through 2028 that demands immediate strategic adjustments from anyone looking to protect their wealth. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is just the sheer mechanical complexity of these temporary provisions. The incoming legislation introduces specific deduction mechanisms for qualified tips and overtime compensation. It also introduces a highly specific conditional deduction of up to $10,000 for car loan interest, but crucially only for vehicles assembled domestically. Plus, there's a new $6,000 below-the-line senior bonus deduction. The analytical takeaway here isn't just that these deductions exist, but that successfully executing them requires incredibly strict, proactive record-keeping. Without rigorous documentation, starting literally today, these optimization opportunities will be entirely lost in an audit. The legislation also architects an entirely new asset vehicle, Section 530A, tax-advantaged minor accounts. Let's break down the mechanics of this because it's genuinely exciting. These allow up to a $5,000 annual contribution limit for citizens under 18. What makes this vehicle uniquely powerful is the stacking mechanism. Parents can contribute, employers can provide up to $2,500 in tax-excluded contributions, and there's even a $1,000 government pilot contribution for specific birth years. At age 18, the whole thing seamlessly converts into a standard individual retirement account. This represents an incredible, highly structured, multi-tiered system for compounding generational wealth right from day one. All right, so we've built the wealth and navigated the new tax codes. But as all of these financial, career, and tax systems rapidly digitize, a massive, glaring vulnerability is exposed. How do we protect these carefully optimized assets from emerging operational and digital threats? Section 4. Defeating data security threats. We have to look at this totally analytically. The rapid evolution of digital fraud means that artificial intelligence is simultaneously fueling sophisticated new attack vectors and providing the necessary defense mechanisms. The threat matrix has completely transformed, guys. We are no longer just dealing with basic password theft. we are facing AI-driven deepfakes specifically designed to bypass biometric security and the creation of synthetic identities where hackers combine real and fake data to open fraudulent credit lines. Stolen tax and identity data is actively exploited and trafficked within dark web ecosystems. Relying on passive defense just won't cut it anymore. Proactive, layered, internal security controls are absolutely mandatory to protect your financial infrastructure.
Let's move to and see how this builds into a strict, actionable protocol. Because if a breach occurs, and probabilistically it really is a matter of when, not if, you must execute a strict sequence to fulfill your ethical and legal obligations. Step 1 is rapid detection, actively monitoring for anomalies. Step 2 is immediate containment to physically halt the data loss. Step 3 requires transparent client or stakeholder communication. And Step 4 is official reporting, coordinating seamlessly with national enforcement authorities. Look, panic is not a strategy. This rigorous, predefined 4-step sequence is.
Wow, we have covered a tremendous amount of ground today, from optimizing a resume to defending against AI fraud, but isolated facts are useless without integration. How do we synthesize these micro and macro systems into one cohesive, long-term operational plan? Section 5, Future-Proofing Strategic Plans. The goal of this explainer wasn't just to throw interesting data points at you, but to equip you with the unified framework. So the crucial point is exactly what we see mapped out here, perfectly demonstrating how systemic risks are neutralized by analytical, pre-planned actions. For your career, the risk of market misalignment is neutralized by hyper-targeted profiling. For your physical assets, the risk of forced liquidation is eliminated by maintaining a 1-year liquid runway. For taxation, the risk of missing vital legislation is mitigated by proactive 2026 audit preparation. And finally, for digital security, the threat of synthetic fraud is countered by a strict breach response protocol. It's like a giant puzzle perfectly fitting together.
I love this quote. The goal is not to buy as soon as possible. The goal is to build wealth, which gives you financial peace and a freedom from stress. This core insight, derived directly from the expert material we analyzed today, perfectly encapsulates our entire objective. True optimization prioritizes long-term stability and deep mathematical solvency over short-term social optics. It is never about rushing to acquire a title or a flashy asset. It's about building an unshakable foundation that grants you absolute freedom from systemic stress. If you take away literally one concept from this explainer, let it be this: reactivity leads to systemic failure. Proactivity secures long-term solvency. Successfully navigating the complex mechanics of career markets, real estate solvency, shifting tax laws, and AI security threats requires strict, unemotional execution of these defined systems. You cannot wait for the market to tell you what to do. You have to mathematically prepare for it. Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought to analyze. Look at your own systems right now. Are your current career, asset, and security strategies relying on outdated, surface-level assumptions? Or have you done the analytical work required to be prepared for the hidden mechanics of tomorrow? Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. Keep questioning the systems around you, keep optimizing, and I'll see you in the next explainer.